Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. As of every week, we will jump into the fundamental, sentiment and technical analysis of different currency pairs to see which opportunities we have during the next week. Now, this video will have little to no fundamental analysis. It will hugely emphasize on the technical analysis because fundamentally there is no a lot of news that changed the opportunities of the previous week's videos. So if you want to see the whole video and the whole explanation, you can watch the previous videos. So as you can see right here, the cross-currency analysis comparison JPY is still in my area of notice, and the Canadian dollar. The euro in my stance changed a little bit. The sentiment got stronger and the pound got a weaker sentiment. But I am in a trade and I will stay in this trade until my stop loss hits or my TP. Usually I don't have TP, I just trail my stop loss. My stop loss now is at break even. So whether it hits my stop loss or not, I am technically in the safe zone. We will jump into the EURJPY trade that I took, but for the next week, from a Forex fundamental and sentiment perspective, I'm looking to trade CAD JPY pair, and from indices perspective, I'm still bullish on the S&P 500, on the UK stock market, and the Euro index. Now we will jump into the technical analysis of these indices and the currency pairs and also Bitcoin to see if we have any opportunities during the next week. So first of all, we will start with the Euro JPY trade that I took previous week. I will explain why did I enter, how was my entry, and why I did not take profits at these lows, and why I'm anticipating price to keep going lower. So first of all, previous week I've had my eyes on Euro JPY and I wanted to take an entry, but I wanted price to hit this area of resistance. As you can see right here, we hit the area of resistance and we are above the 50 RSI and we are above the moving averages from the charts and from the RSI. So now I need data to come positive for the JPY or negative for the euro in order for me to take an entry. And this is what happened right here. So if we go to the economic calendar, this is previous week. My entry was on Tuesday. So as you can see right here, this is Germany, which is in the Eurozone, and it came out very negative. So I anticipated a small retracement on the Euro JPY in order to take my trade, and this is what happened. So what happened is that we had a shift in market structure. So I take the high, I take the low, and I mark the 50% area, which is my entry. So what happened? It was, I think, luck. Price hit my 50% area and immediately dumped to the downside, making it zero losses. Okay, not even floating in losses. And then after another shift in market structure, I moved my stop loss to break even, and price right now is consolidating. Hopefully some data will come positive for the JPY, negative for the euro, in order for this to continue to the downside. So I waited for 1 hour break of structure right here, and 50% retracement, entered at 50% retracement. I have some standard deviation for the stop loss, and my target, I have no specific target. I just now start to move my stop loss based on the 1 hour, 4 hour, or daily chart shift in market structure. So on the 4 hour, if we break this low, I will move my stop loss right here. Then if we continue to create lower highs, lower lows, I will continue to move my stop loss. Now, my initial risk to reward ratio I'm aiming for is 1 to 12 risk to reward ratio. Hopefully we shall see where we could stop out. I recently watched a video that in the next months or years maybe this pair will go to the 148 area. So we might make good percentage on it, but now I'm still in this trade. The sentiment is not hugely aligned with my trade, but we shall see what will happen. Okay, so now I'm in the trade, I'm risk free, and I just uh, start to train my stop loss based on technical analysis and technical structure. Now, jumping into the CAD JPY. CAD JPY, in my opinion, is in the cheap area, so I need to wait for retracement into the moving averages into an area of interest. I have this support per resistance area which I'm interested in, and hopefully the RSI will move pretty much higher above the 50 and above the moving average in order to get a better entry if the fundamentals and sentiment still aligns with this trade. So now, no, I don't think next week we will have opportunity on this pair, but I'm still looking at it. Now, BTC USD, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we had this demand zone right here. We tested this demand zone and then we broke to the upside. Then we created another demand zone, and also in my opinion we tested this demand zone, and now we are pushing higher. Hopefully if we break with some momentum and create another demand zone at this area, I will be looking for retracement into this demand zone in order to take it as bullish. Why? Because I analyze BTCUSD as the US500. So in risk on sentiments, BTCUSD will go higher, will get uh, expensive more and more and more. So now if we see retracement into the lows, I will be looking to take a long position, and if we see break of these area, so if we see break of this area right here, I will be waiting for retracement into this area in order to take a bullish position. So Bitcoin, this is what I'm looking at during the next week. So this retracement is very beautiful. So we were in a consolidation, risk on created, pushed to the upside. Now we retraced into a great area of interest. So some investors might say that it's a very good time to start buying Bitcoin at this price right here. Hopefully it will go higher and higher, and especially break this high right here, go above 110. It could happen, it could not happen. It's based on market sentiment. So if we are in a risk on sentiment, uh, people will invest in BTCUSD, especially companies and hedge funds, and it will create higher prices. Now let's jump into the S&P 500. So S&P 500 had initial move to the upside. We did not test this area right here. So hopefully in the next week we test this area, some data comes positive, and we can position ourselves to start re-breaking into the upside. And hopefully if there is good news between USA and China, this index will start to pick up again. Now let's jump into the UK 100. If you see, as I mentioned previous week, I was interested in the UK 100 trade, but we retraced into this demand zone. I did not have the opportunity to enter. Now we broke another resistance area. So now we created a new demand zone. Hopefully, if prices retrace into this demand zone, I will be looking to enter a long position with the right data supporting this analysis. Jumping into the Euro 50 now is consolidating. If we break this resistance area, I will wait for retracement to take a long position. And if we retrace into this demand area, I will be looking to long this index. Now, XAUUSD previous week was a very beautiful week. Why? Because tariffs and political uncertainty are increasing. People will invest in XAU, in gold, and in JPY and in Swiss franc. So they will move into some risk off currencies and commodities, and they will go into safe haven currencies. So like Japanese yen, Swiss franc, XAUUSD, these safe haven assets that will protect their uh, assets and their value. So if political uncertainty keeps is kept heated between the US and China, this will keep going higher. Until we see some relief, we will not see retracement of the XAUUSD in my opinion. If we jump into the VIX, VIX is cooling off, and hopefully bit by bit we will go below the 20 area. So this is everything for this week. Hopefully it was insightful. If you like this type of content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for weekly analysis like this. Until the next week, stay safe.